know what's going on. Okay, there we go. There we go. Sometimes that glitches up and it doesn't fade to me fast enough. But hey, welcome to 615 Local Live. I'm your host, Dan Shaw, coming from you from beautiful Pleasant View, Tennessee. That's about halfway between Clarksville and Nashville, going up I-24 to your northwest, I guess it is. And today's show is going to be brought to you by Flight's Brew House here in Pleasant View. They are one of my clients on 615local.co. Go check them out. We'd love to have everybody leave them a comment. Come up and visit, though. That's the best way. Come up and try some of their delicious brews. John does a fantastic job. I know he works his butt off in there, bringing different flavors all the time. There's some really good tropical seltzers in there right now. I think you should, these hot summer days, those tropical seltzers will just, I'm not even a seltzer guy, but I had some last night. And I was really enjoying it. So I only had one though, but I stuck to one there and moved on, but it was really refreshing. And I think it was called I'm going to mess it up if I try to remember, but I should have wrote that down. But I know it's really, really a nice shade of blue. So go in there and tell you want that nice shade of blue seltzer, and they'll know what you're talking about. But that's Flight's Brew House in the Village in Pleasant View, Tennessee, is our sponsor today. So today, folks, we got a great guest on the show. His name is Kyle Erickson with Urban Cowboy Line Dancing. Kyle goes by, I guess he got this nickname called Cowboy Kyle. So we'll be talking to him here in a little bit. But before we get started with that, down in our comments area, if you have any comments or questions, please put them in there. And if you do have a question, start it with a Q, just so it kind of stands out to me. I'm producing the show. I'm hosting the show, taking care of all the technical difficulties, me, myself, and I. So, if I miss a question, I will make sure Kyle gets it later and can respond back to you. I know he's got a good team behind him as well. So they will probably get it to him before I actually do. So make sure you do put that Q down there if you do have a question. So also in the comments area, I want to hear your thoughts on local businesses that you support in the 615. If you're not in that area, that's Nashville and Davidson County and the 12 other counties that kind of surround it. 615 goes quite a bit of ways. Tell us who you support, who you like to get out there and spend your money with, experience, and have a good time with as well. If you're not in that area, please let us know where you are in a business in your area you like supporting. Because, hey, we all travel, so we might have it come into your area. We'd love to learn about what's going on in that area as well. So moving on, if you're on our YouTube right now and not on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube Live, that's great, because that's where we really want to drive everybody to. Hit that subscribe button for us. Smash that sucker really hard. You also notice that there's a little tiny bell up there. If you click on it, you will get notified of when we go live or when we upload content. And that helps us out. It helps the algorithms know that we're somebody. And it also lets these businesses get a little bit more attention as well. And they would appreciate that as just as much as I would, and all those that put time and effort into this. So make sure you're smashing that subscribe button, hitting that notify bell, and then leave a comment. Tell us what you think about the show. We'd appreciate it. All right. So moving on, we will talk to Kyle here in a little bit. He's going to tell us all about his business, how he got it started here in Nashville, and how, what makes it such a great experience for those coming to visit Nashville, or even those that live locally that want to learn how to line dance. I want to get out in these honky tonks and have a good time and not just be a barfly, So once again, I'm your host, Dan Shaw. I started this back in 2020, around June, maybe around actually first part of July, driving around just bored. There wasn't much to do back then, right? Everything was locked down. We couldn't go in bars. We couldn't go into shopping malls. We couldn't even go out to a movie or into a restaurant. Everything was curbside or like that. So I got a little bored. I was driving around and I was kind of noticing really what was going on to our small business community. And, I'm an online guy. I love, promoting online. I did it with bands back here in 2005 to 2012. Did a lot with local bands back then. So now I'm just taking that same concept and putting it into helping our small business owners out that are locally here. And one reason I push local so much is, the money that we feed back into our own economy here, a lot of it stays here. Even if the money you spend with Kyle and learning how to line dance, that money he's taking care of his family, taking care of his employees, his other instructors, that money stays here. Most of it does. If you love coffee and you go out to the big one, it starts with an S, or you can go to a local coffee shop. That big one's going to send that money back to another city, most of it other than what they're paying their employees here locally. That local coffee shop, they're usually buying those beans locally, having it, everything, their cups and so forth might come from a local vendor here, even though they might get them from somewhere else. But that money is still staying local. So it's very important you think about that and where you're spending your hard-earned money. All right, enough harping on that. Like I said, I'm kind of passionate about it. It's something I really do a lot. My girlfriend now loves to go to the same local places I do, and we have a good time together. Always a great experience. So, and if you're new to the Middle Tennessee area, make sure or even if you've lived here a while, down at the bottom of the screen, you see our website there. You want to find some great local businesses. We're building, adding to that all the time. Go there, learn about them, support them, leave them a comment, shoot them a message. There's actually a live message button on there for most of them. Shoot them a message. They should be able to get back to you and learn more about supporting local, eating local, shopping local, and even supporting local online. I mean, if you just say you don't have $1 to your name right now, you can still go in there and like, share, help those local businesses out. All right, so we are going to move on with the show, and I have a video to play from Urban Cowboy Line Dancing, and Kyle will be on this video talking about his business. So let me get that queued up real quick. If it's going to, there we go. Well, I'll be darned, man. That looks like a lot of fun, y'all. Now, if I was a little bit more coordinated, I'd probably jump in right. I would have started dancing right then and there. So maybe one day Kyle can help me with that. So, hey, Kyle Erickson, that does go by Cowboy Kyle, is the owner and lead instructor of Urban Cowboy Line Dancing in Nashville, Tennessee. And one thing I want you to learn about this man, he's got a lot of energy. He's probably going to even get me a little hyped up. So I'm looking forward to having him on. So let's bring him on to the show now.
Hello. How you doing?
Good, Kyle. There we go. We got going split screen there. Let's make that a little bit smaller so both of our heads don't look humongous. There we go. Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, sir. Hey, before we learn about your business, Urban Cowboy Line Dancing, tell us a little bit about your background. And I know this is kind of exciting because I've never actually talked to somebody with the, let's say, the accolades that you have. So go ahead and give us a little bit about your background before you got this business going.
Well, I'm from Southern Illinois originally, a town called Carbondale. It's 3 hours north of Nashville. It's just straight up Interstate 24. Southern Illinois University is there, and that's kind of what brought my parents there. My dad's from Cicero, which is a west suburb of Chicago, and my mom's from a small farm town in Southern Illinois. And they met in college at Southern Illinois University, and my sister and I grew up there. And then In high school, I moved from Carbondale up to a west suburb of Chicago called Elmhurst, and went to York High School, which is the public school in Elmhurst. And I ran track. The reason I moved up there was specifically to run track for Joe Newton, who was the head coach at the time. He's one of the most famous high school track and cross country coaches ever. He coached from 1960 to 2015. Anyway, I went up and ran for him, just so I could maximize my track abilities. Just to backtrack a little bit, my dad was an NCAA champion 400 runner at SIU at Southern Illinois, so he was fast. I followed in his footsteps. So ran track at York High School, and ended up getting a scholarship to UCLA, recruited by UCLA, and so I went and ran for them. So I made that big jump from the Midwest, from Chicago to LA, which was quite a change at first, for a while, I guess. And then, but I was there for a long time. I graduated, and then stayed out there. So have a lot of experience living in the greater Los Angeles area, over half my life, actually. And not too long after I graduated college, I got into country music. I wasn't a country music fan until, I don't know, I was probably about 24, 25 years old, and I got into it. And then not too long after that, I got into country dancing. There's a big country dance scene in Southern California, which, includes line dancing, partner dancing, which could be, two-step. It could be a waltz, a cha-cha. They're doing a lot of one-step nowadays as far as a partner dance goes, but it's kind of a combination. That society out there is a combination of partner dancing and line dancing. And so we all get to know each other from San Diego up through Orange County, Riverside County, LA County, all the way up to Santa Barbara area. That dance scene exists. And so there's, I don't know, roughly about 10 different bars in that greater Los Angeles area that have country dancing. And we just all kind of use all those bars and get to know each other. So it opened up a lot of doors socially. I met a lot of people, and frankly fell in love with country dancing, line dancing in particular. I'm more of a line dancer than I'm a partner dancer. But I just really got into it, loved it. And kind of to touch back on the athleticism thing, that track and field background just kind of always gave me some rhythm and gave me the ability to move quickly. And so when I line dance, I use a lot of that athleticism in order to do my dances. So I started dancing in 2015. Very interesting story of how that initially started, but I did it for fun in Southern California for 3 years. And then halfway through 2018, I moved to Nashville from LA, just packed the truck up and drove out, and then knew I wanted to come here for country dancing. I wanted to bring what I knew from LA to Nashville. And my first year, I worked at Wild Horse Saloon down on 2nd Avenue and Broadway. I worked there as a door host, which is kind of a security. But I worked my way into the dance program where I was actually an instructor at Wild Horse, and that's where I learned to teach it. So it's different it's one thing to know the dances. It's another thing to know how to teach them to other people. So, and then in 2020, same thing as when COVID hit, it kind of put the brakes. I had just started this company 2 months before COVID hit. So obviously that put the brakes on it, just like anything else. And then March of 2021 is when it really kind of recovered and took off.
Wow, that's the kind of background. And I know there's a lot more to that. And, hopefully over time, people can go out to your YouTube channel, learn more about you, your background, but really what drove you to really get this business going. So one thing I want to ask you, though, is what is your mission behind Urban Cowboy Line Dancing?
My mission is to, for lack of a better phrase, is to make country dancing cool again. and to make it, yeah, universal is the word I use, but really to connect all the country dance worlds within the U.S. especially together. So we got the Southern California country dance scene. We got South Florida's got one. Texas obviously has a lot of partner dancing, but we're all one big society and we're all regional. And so I just would like to kind of inspire all those communities to, get together, know each other, and just share the joy basically of line dancing.
Well, I know you probably get a lot of the same questions as you get new groups coming in to learn these line dances. What is probably the biggest concern many of them have before they show up, or the I guess maybe even the biggest question that always you get hit with a lot?
Where's the restroom? No, I'm just kidding. Do you have restrooms? Yeah. No, it's I mean, there is a concern, I suppose, from some of the guests when they arrive, of their ability to dance the two left feet thing, and that's what we specialize in. We specialize in beginner line dance lessons, and we have methods to help most people. We can get to do at least one or two of the dances. Um, yeah, I guess that would be it. The customers really don't know what they're getting into. Some of them have researched and looked us up and have an idea, but most of them know. So I tell my other instructors, we know more, like, just to give them, like, especially the new instructors, when they're not quite sure if they're going to be able to teach yet. I say, look, the dances, and they don't. And so no matter how you articulate them or explain it to them, all you're doing is teaching them the dances. You'll get better as time goes on. So, um, yeah, I would say that would just be the concern is, their ability to dance.
People coming in don't want to feel awkward, right? And they
Yeah.
want it, but I'm sure you've learned a lot of techniques to put people at ease, to make them feel a little bit more confident and have faith in your ability to teach them at a pace that's not faster than they need.
Correct. Yeah. We just, after so many lessons and so much repetition, we have figured out uh, how to teach the dances we teach. And we do it consistently. As long as I tell my instructors, just do the same thing, say the same thing, because it works.
That's great. Well, another thing that kind of pops in my mind. I'm sure you get a lot of different types of people coming in, from the younger crowd to maybe some that are getting ready for a fun wedding weekend, or obviously we get a lot of bachelorette parties here. So do you get the question on what should they wear quite a bit?
We tried my social company, Brainstorm Boutique. They are pretty good at, kind of showing what the lesson's supposed to look like, or not supposed to look like, but showing examples of our private lessons, and whether it's video or photo on social media. So a lot of groups that research our company before they come will see, like, examples of outfits, and I've seen that change even more. Like, more and more of my groups lately have been getting, kind of a little dressed up for the lesson, like a themed type, outfits, cowboy boots, seeing a lot more cowboy boots. And so, yeah, just kind of getting into um, the whole feel of country dancing along with the outfits. So we've gotten that out there a little bit more. I just think it adds to the experience a little bit when you're kind of dressed up, and cowboy boots are a great shoe to line dance in, because you get a combination of a rubber heel with a leather sole, so it kind of allows you to kind of do the moves properly. However, there's other shoes you can wear, tennis shoes or anything flat, frankly, um, is okay to wear dancing. So haven't got that question about what you should wear as much, because our social company is kind of taking care of that.
Yeah, gives them a good idea of what to put on and get out there in. So,
Yes.
tell us more details about line dancing, or maybe like, do you know some of the history of how it actually got started, and what has made it so popular? I mean, even like you said, in California, you had that whole culture down there from north to south doing it.
Yeah. You know what? I honestly couldn't tell you the history of line dancing. I know it's been around for a while. I've heard country line dancing started in the 70s from what I hear. I mean, I know if you watch the movie Urban Cowboy, John Travolta does a scene in there where he's doing a line dance, and then they're obviously two-stepping in it. That was 1980 when that movie came out. So we know that it existed then. But from my recollection, was the early 90s, 1991, 1992, 93. That's when kind of Tim McGraw and Garth Brooks and Alan Jackson, Dwight Yoakam were in their prime, and they really started that whole boot, scoot, and boogie type culture, that early 90s cowboy country music scene. And Nashville back then actually was the mecca of country dancing. There are quite a few bars out here, but Wild Horse Saloon also in particular became one of the biggest country dance parties in the world. And so that's how I remember line dancing personally coming into play. I didn't do it back then, but I do recall that. And then it was years later in California that I saw it again with that next generation of kids.
Yeah, I think our grandparents, or at least my grandparents' country, was a little bit more, I'll say, monotone and not faster pace. That boot, scoot, and boogie kind of music, that kind of kicked off all that. So I think you're right. That's really what made it popular and really started catching on. People were seeing it in videos, and CMT probably had 90 of them on a day with just line dancing in there at some point. So, and
Sure.
Then Urban Cowboy, that movie, John Travolta, he's got moves,
Sure.
he did country, and then he did disco, right? So
Right. Yeah.
made it popular. Hey, let me know, or let our audience know, what is 3 things people should know about Urban Cowboy line dancing that makes it stand out as such a great experience for people?
Well, one, we are very welcoming, entertaining. We're very good at making our guests feel comfortable. So it is a comfortable environment. And really it is about the experience. It's not necessarily about the line dances, those are part of the experience, but we just want everybody to have fun. And we bring the energy. We set the tone, our instructors do, for the lesson. And we're responsible for, that happiness. And then also our lessons are geared towards beginners. And we do it a way where if you're a beginner, like a brand new green beginner, we can show you how to do the dances, and we can make you do them, get you to do them in the lesson. But if you're already a dancer, or find these dances that we're teaching to be easy, we still can entertain you with them, because we have really loud music, and our instructors really get into the dance when we do them. And there's a mirror in the studio that we use. Not always, obviously, if we're doing an off-site lesson, we don't have mirrors, but I think the instructors getting into it when they dance and really bringing it helps make it more exciting. So people who do know the dances already, or are good dances and pick it up quick, they still enjoy these beginner dances as well. And then Really, it's just, we just appreciate being an experience here in Nashville, whether you're local or traveling. Um, we just want to share the love of country dancing. I think I lost the sound.
You
There
know
we
what
go.
I told you earlier, Kyle, that one time me producing and hosting, I forget to hit that mute button because when I'm
Yeah,
drinking water, I don't want the audience to hear that. And then sometimes we
got
forget
it.
to click back on there. But hey, going back to my question is when a group comes in to the studio, how long are they there and how many dances on average do they learn?
So they're there for an hour. All our lessons are an hour. We do 3 dances. 99% of the time, we will learn 3 dances. Um, and each dance takes about 10 minutes, about 15 minutes to complete a dance by the time you teach it, and then do it to a song. And so we can definitely, squeeze 3 dances in there. And that seems to be a good number because I can't imagine just teaching one dance in a lesson. It's just not really giving them their money's worth. Um, so 3 has been kind of the magic number, and everybody's pretty happy with that. But yeah, when they walk in, we just welcome them in, help them set their stuff up, show them around the place so they know where to go in the studio. And then we start our introduction, and that would be in the studio, but also off-site lessons. We always um, tell the guests about ourselves, who we are, what we do, and personally, just some things about us personally before we jump into the lesson.
I got you. So, what is the best way for somebody to get you guys booked for that hour or even talk to you about doing offsite lessons?
So we have a couple methods. UrbanCowboyNashville.com is the best way to get to us, to communicate. That's our website, and there's a lot of things you can do on that website. You can book a lesson directly. You can check out the FAQ section, which answers quite a few questions that we typically experience. A lot of questions we've been hearing, right? Frequently asked questions. We've got a lot of those covered there. So you can get the information there, and then you can also submit a inquiry, and just with an event that you have coming up, whether it's a corporate event, a bachelorette party, or so it could be a private party at someone's house, birthday party, graduation party, etc. So they can fill out an event inquiry, and then we just reach out within 24 hours to that person to kind of get further details, and then we just kind of quote a price usually, or give them the logistics of what it's going to look like and what we can offer. And then sometimes they like it right off the bat and sign up, and sometimes they just need to think about it. And so we never pressure anyone into taking a lesson with us. We just tell them what we do, and then if they like it, they can join, and we'd love to have them. But yeah, our website, I think, is the best way to get a hold of us, and then an email is fine, and that's Urban Cowboy Line Dancing at gmail.com. And then our Instagram is a really good way to see what we're doing. That's probably the best way to see like the daily updates of what we have. And it's another way to get in touch with us as well. You can DM us on Instagram, and we will respond. So that's kind of the booking process.
Well, I know earlier you had mentioned that you have a social media expert that handles a lot of that for you. So one of my questions always is do you feel that, the time or the resources that are being put into that are paying off for you, and why?
Yes, definitely. Big change this year. Last year went well. I was able to handle everything, but the volume was getting to be a bit much when it came to all the dancing I was doing, so in the physical aspect. I was hosting all the lessons. And then the social media, creating videos, editing them, putting it online, that's not my forte. So that was very time consuming. And then this year in January, I was in a position to start working with Brainstorm Boutique and Brother Dale Creative. And we were able to put together the website and some promotional video and content. And then Brainstorm started doing the social. And once they started that, I've been in cruise control, because that is just going, and I don't have to do nearly as much of that. And so it's kind of a snowball effect. It's just really rolling, and they've gotten us a lot of new followers, a lot of new attention. And so they handle the Instagram and Facebook, and I do the TikTok. TikTok has become something that really just exploded, and it's easier. I just kind of upload videos to TikTok without doing much editing, so it's easier for me. But the experts are handling the Instagram, and they're the ones making that look so pretty. So
that's great, because I know that also allows you time to teach more classes, right? And create more revenue for your business, so you can keep putting more and more into it. I know you at least I saw on YouTube an interview that you did. What are your plans for expansion? What are you thinking about doing?
Well, like I said earlier, I'd like to start, bringing the country dance world together. Like I said, it's regional right now, so I want to just kind of bring everybody in so they know, how they dance in Idaho, how they dance in South Florida. So just trying to bring, and we do a lot of California dances as far as the advanced, but I want to start expanding to different areas where there is tourism, where I know there is interest in our product, whether corporate events in Las Vegas. I think we would be a hit in Vegas with that. And then Austin, Texas is where we've already started going down to Austin, trying to do that once a month right now, and just kind of get familiar with that area and get our name out, and do the same type of parties in Austin that we do here in Nashville, which could be a lot of bachelorettes. We're getting a lot of inquiries out of Texas now, whether it's San Antonio or Dallas or Lubbock, Oklahoma, people reaching out to us to do their private events or see when we have private lessons. And so something is working with the advertisement algorithm, and a lot of people think that we're actually based in Austin, Texas. So that's good. That's what we're looking for. And I want to eventually be there, not myself personally necessarily, but have somebody there and have Urban Cowboy there and operating at all times, just like we do in Nashville. And then Vegas is another place that interests me for the same reason.
And where is your on-site studio at in Nashville right now?
So I use a studio. I just rent space from it. It's called Mullally Academy. It is a dance studio on Church Street, basically Church and 20th in Midtown. And it's a dance studio. All kinds of dancing happens there. There's some really good youth programs, competitive dancers. There's hip hop dancing. I think they do a lot of jazz type dancing. But they're dancers that are local, and they do it all the time. And so they're coming back every day or every week and kind of training to become competitive dancers. But when I rent space from the studio, I'm bringing in more of a party type crowd who are just coming in once for 1 hour and then gone. And, I never see them again. So it's a different type of dancing that I bring to the studio, which I think they appreciate. I think the owners of the studio like having, fun line dancing going on. It's just something different to mix it up.
You're getting them ready for the what they call it down on Broadway, the honky tonks down there, right?
Yeah,
So they
want
can
to go
go out
bar
and enjoy,
hopping.
yeah, have a great time and not just sit at the bar sucking down beers all night. They're actually getting out and having a great experience, a great time,
Yeah.
and being active too. That's always a good thing.
Yes. And our
So
classes are very active.
you talked about a little bit in that when you were talking about the dance studio. It's probably it's locally owned. Local students obviously going in there time and time again. Yours is a little bit different because most of yours is probably coming from out of town for just a Nashville experience, and you're helping them prepare for that. But what other local businesses does Urban Cowboy Line Dancing get involved in, or that you guys or even you independently support around here?
Yeah. Like you said, the Nashville Shuttle. We really like them. They do a lot of great advertising. And when I was first getting into the social media, I kind of like used them as inspiration. And reached out to Tiffany there. And I wanted to know, first of all, what kind of camera are you using, for your little promo videos, and who's taking the videos? Is it and editing them? Do you guys have a professional person? And she was like, we're using an iPhone, and they're editing themselves. I thought, okay, that's pretty amazing quality. So I kind of, started collecting more content and trying to do little things like they do. They have really nice vehicles too. So I think it's a great idea for my type of customers who have to take 4 or 5 Ubers because they can only fit, 4 people per car, and it might be a group of 20. And having a transportation shuttle service like that, I think there's a lot of potential there. It'd be helpful for me to have something to offer my customers. So I wouldn't mind getting more involved with them. And then Jack's Barbecue on Broadway they've been great. We the other instructors and myself, we will do flash mobs on Broadway. Sometimes we just put our Urban Cowboy stuff on, and we go down with a speaker. We have this Bluetooth speaker and just start line dancing in the middle of Broadway. And we've had Jack's Barbecue, is right in the prime location. It's right next to Robert's Western World and the stage, and they've got a really, big sign, Jack's does. And so we had that in the background, not deliberately, but when we posted it, they reached out to us. They really liked it. And so now we've had a communication with them. And so we really like them. And just all the Nashville, the Nashville bars downtown. We just want to promote them all. And just Nashville's such a great place to come. So, and then we've done some advertising with Graffiti. Graffiti does a lot of the print ads around town. So we've worked with them as well. So yeah, those are some goodies. And then the Nashville Palace out by Opryland Hotel is kind of the line dance bar in town on Saturday nights. It's a lot of the California dances that we brought out here when we moved here. People have caught on to them, and now that's what they do. So you go to the Nashville Palace and you're a line dancer from California, you're going to recognize all the dances. And so that's pretty cool, bringing that type of dancing out here. So we enjoy going there as well.
Yeah, that Nashville Palace has been around for quite a while. And for those that don't know where that's at, it's off of Music Valley Drive, off of Briley Parkway, right across the street, really, from the entrance to the Opryland Hotel. Definitely go out there and check it out. There's also a lot of great local businesses right around there. One of the first ones that I started working with and promoting, a friend of mine owns Nashville Coffee. So it's actually behind the Nashville, the Palace there. And that's what got me into doing this. So I'm glad that you're working with somebody in that area as well, because it's kind of an area that's, people sometimes don't even know exists for Nashville. They got to get off of Broadway and come across the river. but there's really a lot to do over there close to the Opryland Hotel. So I do suggest anybody that's coming to Nashville or even here locally that hasn't been there yet, take a drive down Music Valley Drive. There's a lot to do out there. Some of it's a little touristy, but hey, get in there. You'll find some good deals on some Nashville, items and go and support those local businesses as well. Kyle, I know we really appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to one day meeting you in person and maybe try not to have two left feet myself. I've never been the most coordinated person in the world, and I actually tried to play basketball once, so that was interesting.
I'd like to throw one more thing in, if you don't mind.
Oh, go for it.
So our clientele, we call them guests, is a majority out of towners. People coming in that are looking for a Nashville excursion or activity or experience, and they book us, and they could be from all over the world. We get a lot of California, New Jersey, and New York people. Those tend to be the heavy states for our private lessons. But we get a lot of local business with the either corporate events or private parties for the locals as well. But we do, what I'd like to mention is we do have a country dance party at the marketplace in East Nashville. It's actually right by Nissan Stadium. It's I think it's an indoor, like an airsoft. They've got an airsoft building there. They've got bumper cars. They've got a CrossFit gym, and they've also they host dance parties in the back of the building. And they've been working with us for a few months now. For the second Friday of every month, we host a big line dance party back there. And it's a lot of fun. It's great for beginners. It's great for locals. It's $10 to get in, and we are teaching the same dances to them as we teach to our private parties. Now we're going to be experimenting here, starting in a couple weeks we're going to switch it to Thursdays, and we're going to have it every Thursday. So instead of the second Friday of every month, we're going to try doing it every Thursday. So I think July 7th. No, I'm sorry. I think July 14th, 21st, and 28th, we will be hosting that. And so I highly suggest anybody local that wants to get into the line dancing, and you don't necessarily want to jump right into the advanced stuff, come to this party. We get anywhere from 100 to 200 people. And we're starting from the bottom with those beginner dances, and then we're adding some more stuff. And we teach about 8 dances. The party happens from 6 to 10. The dancing happens from 7 to 10, and it's line dancing only. So all 6 of us instructors are up there, switching off and teaching dances. So that's a great local event. If you live in Middle Tennessee, definitely come to that, and look out for advertisements for that on our Instagram. That's where we're going to communicate the details about that event in full. So again, it's tentatively going to start on July 14th, I believe, is a Thursday, and we're gonna experiment with doing it every week versus once a month. And so, yeah, definitely check that out.
I will definitely come down there, and hopefully I can drive my girlfriend. And I know a buddy of mine, he moved out from California area, actually Westlake, LA. And he talked about many times going to the country bars there. I was actually the one that introduced him to country music. He used to play in a rock band on Sunset Strip, back in the 80s. So, yeah. So it's funny now to hear him talking about all these country artists that he's actually gone beyond me. But I will definitely drag him out there as well. He can probably teach me a couple of things, give me a little confidence standing beside him as I learn from you guys as well. It just sounds like a great time, and especially even for a local experience. People that live here locally can keep going back. $10 ain't nothing to be able to go out and have an experience like that. So appreciate you letting us know about that, and we'll look forward to that advertising coming out so we know when it's going to go to every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Look forward to that.
And there's food trucks. Then they have seltzers and beers for sale, and food trucks and cornhole and all that stuff. And so it's a family friendly environment. So if you have children, you want to bring them out, come on out. There's picnic tables. I think you can bring your dog in. It's actually, the party is in the back of the building. It's like an alley, but it's a big parking lot right on the river there. So and free parking. So yeah, we're excited about that event. We're enjoying it.
I'm looking forward to that. And I'm glad that you're having it later at night when it ain't 110 degrees outside.
Sure. Yeah.
These Middle Tennessee summers can be a little brutal during the day.
They're damp. They're definitely damp.
Yeah, you get a shower and then you just go outside, and before you get to your car, you're already sweating. So
yeah.
Well, Kyle, thank you very much for joining us, man. And if there's anything that we can do for you guys, just please keep tagging us. Your social media people do great. I know it's not you anymore that's handling it, but I know they're listening. So keep tagging us. We will keep pushing you guys out there as much as possible, because I think what you're offering is a different experience than just the party buses downtown and the whole woo thing going on. You're actually getting people active and getting them so when they go out that night, they got something they can show and feel and have a great time doing it as well. So thank you very much, Kyle. And
thank you for having me.
I look forward to meeting you soon.
Yeah, me as well.
All right. Have a good day, sir.
Okay. You too. Thanks.
All right, everybody. That was Kyle, Cowboy Kyle, we'll call him. Urban cowboy line dancing. Man, I'm going to get that out eventually. I've been told by my doctor to cut down on my caffeine. So I had no coffee this morning. So you'll have to bear with me. One thing I want to make sure you're aware of is we really do this show to support local businesses. 615. I've been doing this, like I said, since 2020. It's kind of evolved. It was just first to help a friend of mine to let people know his business was still open, even though they had to do curbside or Grubhub delivering the coffees to them. And it kind of just started escalating from there. And I wanted to give back more and more. Well, in 2021, I actually made this a business under Shaylin Media LLC, registered with the Secretary of State, got all legal and stuff. And then launched 615local.co.co. You can actually pull that up on your cell phone, open your browser, pull it up. It is mobile friendly. Businesses right now can sign up on there. If you are locally owned, we do ask that you be locally owned, and your business is in a 615 area, which, like I said, covers about 13. It does cover 13 counties, starting with Davidson County right in the middle and working around there. So it's quite a big area. If you are locally owned and you have a business in that 615 area code reach, we'd love to have you join us. And right now, and this ain't going to last much longer because I can't do this forever, offering it $99 for life. If you have a local business and you want to get out there, put it on our site for $99 for life. That's all you ever pay, and you get every feature. We don't limit features based on levels. I'm not saying if you pay $59, you're only going to get this. $99, you get everything. As more features become available on the site, we're going to open that up to you. We'll blast out an email letting everybody know, hey, now this feature is available, that feature is available. There is a lot on there for everybody. If you're a real estate agent, you can list your properties on there, put the MLS numbers on there, links to your real tracks or whatever listing as well. Multiple ways to link to your social media, to your website, to even an online calendar. Like Kyle said, he probably got an online calendar showing what days they got bookings. You can definitely get on there and do that as well. I see we got a couple of comments that I've missed because, like I say, hosting and producing takes a little bit of coordination. I'll show some of these, even though Kyle's gone now, but hopefully he'll see it later. It looks like a lot of it's from his social media company. And they really, I love how much they were supporting him and working with him and not just taking his money and just doing the bare minimum. Looks like they really are engaging. So I'll give them a shout out. Brainstorm BT, check them out if you need social media help and you got a small business or even if your business is growing like Kyle's was, he just didn't have the time anymore to put into it. It was taking too much time away from his guests and teaching what he wants to do. He didn't want to be behind the computer doing social media. So call Brainstorm Boutique. I'm sure they would appreciate the business as well and learn what they do. And I'm probably going to be looking at them myself. So thank you very much. Like I said, if you want to get on with us, $99 right now for life, that is going to end. And I cannot tell you the end date because I've only made a certain amount of slots available for that. Once those slots are full, that's it. Then we will go to a monthly or a yearly subscription model. And then obviously that will be generating our revenue as we need it to come in, so we can keep doing these shows. We can keep going out and visiting local businesses. I love to walk into a business that got signed up with us unexpectedly and walk into them, introduce myself, and make a short video while we're there, giving them more social media presence. And we don't just put you on our site and just let you sit there. We're going to promote you out as much as we can. Obviously, the more people we get, it's going to be a rotation and everything. So right now, like I'm told you, this show is sponsored by Flights. They didn't even know I was going to use them as a sponsor today, but they're on our site. And Flights Brew House here in Pleasant View, we're just making them the sponsor of the show today. And we will do that for your business as well. You come and join us. You become part of our business community, locally owned business community. We want to get everybody working together, just like we're now help. Kyle is using Brainstorm Boutique. We want to help support them as well. So get out there and learn what local businesses we already have on there by visiting 615local.co. And let me put that up on the bottom of the screen. I'm sure Kyle is appreciating all the extra attention I'm giving his website, but there you go, right at the bottom there, 615local.co. And, pull that up on your cell phone, on your iPad, your Android device, or your actual PC if people still sit and do that. And you will find we have quite a bit of local businesses on there, and we're growing all the time. So, and if you are just a consumer and you want to find a business and you don't see it on there, reach out to me. You can actually reach out to me right here at 615.local@shalenmedia.com. And I'll do the research. I'll help you find what you're looking for, because I want to make sure that you're supporting a local business and we're not sending our money back to New York and California and Chicago. We want to try to keep it right here and help Middle Tennessee always stay strong no matter what's going on in the rest of the world. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. My name's Dan Shaw, 615.local or 615local on, no, it is .local on Instagram, Facebook. I think it's pretty much the same. But if you go over to our website, I got links to everything on there. So sometimes my memory is not as great as just using the website. So please use the website. You'll find all our social media there. Go check us out. Please follow us. Please like, please share, because what we're sharing and what we're putting out there is helping a local business. And as you share it, you're also helping them out, and they would very much appreciate it. So thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.